Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's No FOMO Charts, Stocks and Crypto TA Livestream. It is a holiday today and tomorrow in the USA, July 4th holiday, which is tomorrow. The stock market is closed on July 4th. Just want to let people know that. We have a shortened week, a lot going on still, so let's jump into it. Welcome, everyone, to my live stream where I demystify the stock charts, the stock market, crypto charts, and what's going on in the world of trading and investing. I'm streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch. We also have Twitter. If you want to go ahead and drop a follow to support, let's get started. Stocks. This week we have Levi Strauss. Not many earnings going on. It's not the major earnings season right now. But we have economic data coming out, manufacturing PMI, OPEC meetings, FOMC meeting minutes will probably be pretty impactful. Non-farm employment change, unemployment claims, services PMI, job openings, average hourly earnings, and more. And in terms of the news for stocks, well, it is the second half of 2023, so many businesses, investors, traders might need to rebalance their portfolios a little bit. Just kind of watching to see how the second half plays out, because some economists this year are expecting a slowdown in consumer spending in the latter half of this year. We'll see if that actually comes true or not. The USA FOMC Chair Powell said there could be 2 more interest rate hikes this year. And whether that's going to be every other month or consecutive months, that's up to the data and the team there. July is going to be interesting. The end of this month, they're going to possibly live stream their meeting on YouTube. He also said that it could take until 2025 for core inflation to reach the 2% target. We are still at 5.3% core inflation. We're not even halfway down yet. It's declining. However, USA produced strong economic data in June, just last month. So GDP numbers, consumer confidence were positive. Unemployment claims, CPI, PPI, PCE, inflation data was negative. Well, it's in terms of the direction, it's going down. It's still positive numbers, but it's less than 3 months or 6 months ago. So it's just less. That's why I said down, to avoid confusion. Now, crypto ETFs on the crypto side have a little bit of a battle going on between the SEC and these financial companies. Crypto ETFs refiled and reapplied for SEC approval because it was denied just a couple days ago. And the reason was, what is the market surveillance? So now BlackRock, Fidelity, Invesco, VanEck, 21 Shares, Wisdom Tree, ARK Investments, etc., they're partnering up, at least one of these firms, with Coinbase, a crypto exchange, to provide the market surveillance to help reduce fraud and market manipulation. So today, that's why Coinbase blasted up 11% positive. So there's a lot going on in the crypto markets. But first, we always have to look at the stock market, because I am a stock investor and trader, as well as crypto investor and trader. Very profitable week again last week. It's just great timing. One thing we want to watch out for is getting too biased in one direction in my mind, right? Even though I had a profitable week, it doesn't really matter, because the charts is what matters a little bit more to me, because I need to be not swayed by my emotions as much. That's why I became No FOMO Charts, one of my philosophies. So, SPY, what's going on here in the S&P 500? We just broke out above the 442 level. And we're still in the uptrend here. This is a daily chart, S&P 500, high, low, high, low, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high. So we're still making that upstairs pattern. We did have a gap up, which we want to watch out a little bit for, because the RSI in the short term is starting to show a little bit of bearish divergence, bearish momentum here. The price is going up, making a higher high, MACD histogram making a lower low, as is the RSI. still in the golden cross uptrend. So what that means is we're probably going to get a push up into eventually to the 450 range, which is my X target on the top side. These blue lines on the bottom are the support levels of the EMAs, 200, 150, and the 20 EMA as well, or the 26 EMA. And it's not quite ready to crash yet because the weekly on the S&P 500 is not even in the RSI overbought range. It's not even above 75. And this week just got started. So it remains to be seen. We had a little bit of an inside bar last week. Let me turn this off. Inside bar last week, and then we had a bullish engulfing candle. Now this candle that we're just started today on a half day is, what is this going to turn into? The three scenarios. If it turns to a morning star and next week we pull back, that would be actually bad. We have a lot of room to pull back on this downside area. But if it keeps going to continuation, then we're probably not going to have that pullback up until the 450 range, or maybe until the next FOMC meeting, which is 4 weeks away. Let's go to NASDAQ. NASDAQ, we're still in this golden up cross, seeing this uptrend ever since March, April of 2023. The bearish divergence on this is just barely starting. You could see the price. We want to watch out for a potential double top if there's some really bad news starting July 5. The MACD histogram is pointing up. The RSI is just above the 66, 67 level. And just a quick tip, TradingView did update and change their RSI. So if your RSI doesn't look like mine, which is okay, I turned my moving average off on my RSI. This is the new default, but I'm old school. I started with a very plain RSI without all this highlighting things, right? The Bollinger Bands and whatnot. So I don't even really use that. So we just want to watch out on the price right here. Three scenarios. We double top and pull back down to 358 could be one of our support targets. If we continue out and have a breakout, we look left to find a support level, or we can use volume profile. But let's just use support price. Here, 375 is the target and 379 area, which is still generally in my X marks a spot. This kind of looks a little bit parabolic because high, low, high, low, high. We haven't had a big pullback, right? We haven't had that at all this year, which is why I'm not saying we're going to crash in the market, but we can pull back once there's a little bit of bad news or considerable amount of selling. On the weekly, very similar to S&P 500, where we have just a little bit of this baby open candle, and there's not much to see there on the weekly. The only thing is on NASDAQ weekly, we are in the overbought range on the RSI, right on 75. And the MACD is starting to pull back a little bit. Dow Jones daily. Dow Jones still trying to hold on to its golden up cross, just barely getting stuck this whole year at this resistance zone. Let me just erase this, make it easy. I could draw one resistance level, and this is where we're stuck at. You draw the support level on the bottom side. This is where we're stuck at. Rectangle, if somebody wants, a little bit slanted, but still valid. Okay, so again, until we have a significant break above either 345, we could pull back to 330. In worst case, we'll pull back to 314. Those are the only three levels I'm looking at Dow Jones. This is not good. It's consolidation, it's weakness in the market. And we might have another double top right now on the price. So I'm very closely watching. Never want to be the last person in on the trade because there are plenty of dips, at least 4 or 5 big ones on the Dow Jones. And if somebody is just about to jump in right now, depends on their time horizon, how long they're going to hold it for, what is their risk management if the market crashes. A lot of questions like that. But in terms of weekly, it's about 58 RSI on the weekly, so we're not in any extreme range right now. It's these 30 companies are not having the greatest financial earnings, which, by the way, earnings season is going to pick up in about a couple weeks from now. We're about to go into another storm here. Gold, the only thing I want to say about gold is, let's erase this. We crashed back down to the 200 EMA, and there is a little bit of bullish divergence that's starting to build up on these oscillators, only on gold, not silver yet. You can see here on the MACD histogram, the RSI is not completely oversold yet, so you want to watch out for that. But one price action that somebody might want to keep an eye out for on gold is the March 2023, because this blue circle is very similar to the price crash of this second blue circle. So also there's a third blue circle in September 2022. Okay, so we can get a small bounce, we can get a large bounce. But what I'm looking for on gold, if we're going to establish a bottom, I need a double bottom or triple bottom here in July or August. Then we will know it's going to continue to the upside. If it doesn't do that, this could be the one time we're going to lose gold in terms of the support. We'll see. We're about to find out if this is going to happen or not. Get my trend lines. There we go. So you can see the trend line has been lost, and the resistance was double topped here, just kind of like S&P 500. That's why I'm aware of this. If it goes bearish, it's going to crash back down to a support level, and we're going to try to fight here, and it's either going to win or lose. So here in this relative Fibonacci, it's bouncing off of the 382 with a bullish, leaning a little bit bullish in the medium to long term into this 181 area. If it falls back down 175, 170, I would like to pick up gold if it's 165, just for the sake of 618 Fibonacci. On the weekly, we do have a weekly hammer. This is why I'm saying there is starting to be, the shorts are trying to attack this down, but there's a little bit of liquidity buying here. There's some demand here on the bottom. I want to watch out for that. Hasn't quite flipped around yet. So again, the next couple months for gold will be pretty interesting to watch. Silver is slightly different in that in the weekly, it's starting to bounce and flag already, almost in the neutral zone. There is, somebody could say there is a little bit of a bullish momentum on the RSI. It's a long one. The gold setup was a little bit better, but there seems to be some kind of support here, probably above 20, 25, $20. So if it's going to bounce up in this small little W structure, the 4 to 8% would take us right up to $22. Potential, right? Low, high, low. If this is the lower low and it stops, then we should bounce up. Will be interesting to see. The next two I'm just going to go over very quickly. USO is still in the symmetrical triangle below the resistance. UNG, I closed out a part of my UNG trade just to shift over some capital to some of the other cryptos that went up last week, because I believe crypto is more volatile than natural gas. But this is still a potential setup here. It's going to take a while here in terms of weekly, right? It hit a relative resistance, just starting to flatten out on that MACD. A little suspicious there. Starting to round out. Now it's stuck in this broadening megaphone pattern, I like to call it. Broadening megaphone. So if it crashes, there's a lot of room to crash down here. There's a strange head and shoulders on the RSI, a little bit of loss on MACD histogram. And the only good thing is the shorter term EMAs on some of the shorter term time frames have crossed up. So let's see if it's going to rest and blast off. But on the 4 hour, it's half, right? Head and shoulders right here versus golden cross. So for me, this could definitely continue to the upside, but crypto is way more volatile than this. All right. Do you want to quickly point out just some of the sector ETFs? That's all we're going to do today on stocks. Is some are at a resistance and some are at a support. So let's see. So XOK, obviously tech sector at a resistance point on the daily. Communications also at a resistance point relative, but still in the uptrend. Both of these are still in the uptrend. XO Real Estate, XRE, bounced off a relative support just off of 1 or 2 weeks ago. So it's in this larger symmetrical triangle pattern, which is actually good. I can adjust this bottom line. And you can see the top X of about $39 could be that topside target. Energy still in this descending triangle, bouncing off the support of 77, trying to hit maybe the upper or mid 80s. XLY, consumer discretionary in a golden up cross. However, starting to see bearish momentum here on the short-term oscillators. What we want to watch out for is this price, February 2023. If that happens again, that would cause a pullback. Of how much? Possibly 2% to negative 10% down. And that 10% down is actually okay if it holds off the 200 EMA. High, low, high. Where's the higher low? And then we can continue once we get a dip buy. Something to watch out for. XLI starting to, I mean, it had a lot of pressure building up here and then exploded to the upside, bounced up to the upside. Now we're starting to see a little bit of this MACD histogram momentum loss. So it should kind of bounce and roll over a little bit if it's going to be normal. Material sector was interesting. We did have this double bottom and nice bounce. So, weeks ago, this is what I'm saying is when we have a support play, that's when a trader has to make a decision. Are they risk on or risk off? And then how much? Healthcare XLV started to tighten up, almost like Dow Jones, a little bit in the psychology because, COVID-19 still exists, but the emergency is mentally over. Governments have ended it. But healthcare, if healthcare stocks, if they don't make money, profits, if they don't sell products and services or, new drug medicine testing, then things kind of slow down on the momentum for them. A little bit like real estate where it bounced, but it's close up near its resistance, 134. So next support might be 127 if it keeps tightening. XLP, consumer staples, very similar in this tightening here. Not quite an ascending triangle. If we back this line up here, it's almost like a rising wedge. So you'll know for XLP, we're in the danger zone when the price goes down. And then in terms of trying to retest and confirms a downtrend. If it bounces up to 77, that's the best bull case scenario. Do want to point out though, we did have a low RSI here on May 23rd. That was that last spot for entry for a decent one. XLF as well, bouncing off these higher low support levels. So if it keeps bouncing up to the upside, rallying $35 is that resistance. XO Utilities, just barely hanging on here. Just barely hanging on these uptrend. On the support, SMH, a little bit of a topping action. But in terms of the traders, they're not going to let go so easily, the bulls, right? There is already MACD histogram on the 4 hours. So we'll see if this 156.41 resistance will get broken to the upside or not. I do want to point out that if you look at the VIX here, VIX is pretty low, right? The VIX is pretty low. It's at 2020 pre-levels before the pandemic, okay? So I'm not saying that's going to happen in terms of market crash, but it is something to be said is whenever we get down to this $12 level, could indicate we might get a pullback in the market, just a short-term pullback. I want to watch out for that. All right, let's move on to crypto. Welcome everyone to the crypto section of the live stream. I'm streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch. Also have a Twitter group, Twitter feed. Now, cryptocurrencies have been rallying. I want to make everyone aware of right now, it's all about the SEC, regulations and laws. It's the government and corporations either working against each other or working together, right? And we also have the third wheel, which are the financial institutions, Wall Street, all these big money corporations, institutions that are trying to open up these Bitcoin ETFs. Right? Because it allows investors to easily invest in a Bitcoin asset vehicle, which is usually based off of Bitcoin futures. There's already 4 or 5 Bitcoin ETFs. I think there's 4 Bitcoin related ETFs already that are approved. I'll show them later. So if we go to our crypto list, Let's start with TOTAL. Now, the good thing is, again, we're still in this golden up cross, almost lost it here when we crashed down to 970 billion on the SEC lawsuit, and we're trying to survive right now. What does this remind me of? This relative low, June 2023, right here, March 2023, and then something like a November 2022 area. Now, ironically, these are basically the support levels. If we draw a trend line, it's not a perfect one, but it's pretty close, right? If we kind of pierce this one a little bit, you can see the fear. This was a fear piercing to the downside, so I might leave it like that to get more touch points. And then we just bounced off of the 1.1 trillion for now. So what remains to be seen is, can we remain in this uptrend? We had the fear, we had the fear, uncertainty, doubt, the FUD, right? And then finally some bullish news from corporations, institutions to rally us up to the upside. How far can we go up? That's the question. So the target on the upside is 1.3 trillion. That's my bullish target on the upside. If I draw a Fibonacci retracement, we hit that 50% retracement. We could have deepened, pierced down to the 925 billion 618, but didn't have to go down that far. So that, just in case, these support levels you can see here, 1.05, 982, and 931 billion. It's very important to understand that instead of just staring at a watch list. Now, if I want to estimate the topside potential, just very quickly use a Fibonacci extension. Okay, and we could see 1272 relatively close to my target. Maybe I could use a separate target, this one, for a deep target, but I'll back that off a little bit. So 1272, 1.36 trillion market cap at 1.5, and then a 1.6. That would be huge. If we get to 2 trillion again, that's huge. Positive for Bitcoin. All right, moving on to the weekly. I'm not seeing any signs of the huge bearish engulfing candle like here or an inside bar doji. I'm not seeing that right now. The hanging man last week was a little bit concerning, but we had this Morningstar weekly ETF, weekly candle pattern off of the ETF news. See if we could keep that momentum up. The last Morningstar we had back here in March 2023. Really need to see if we could get upside continuation. The other indexes, I do want to point out, you're hearing a lot about Bitcoin dominance in the news. So let's go down to BTC.D. You want to point out BTC.D. Yes, people are saying Bitcoin dominance at 50% or 52%. That's a number. If I look at the chart, all I need to draw is two lines, basically. Draw this line as a support level, draw this line as a resistance level, and then all I have to understand is, wait a second, whenever it gets down here, we have a crypto rally. We had a double bottom, huge rally, right? This happened to coincide with the bottom of the crypto market. This is an educational segment, okay? And then, trying to buy in at anywhere in the middle, this is like a general support play I would do on day trading or on anything. Investing, same thing. Support, okay. Double bottom, buy that. Buy that. Risk on the asset. Risk on 2-to-1 target. And somebody could leave their stop loss now here, which would be something like Bitcoin 27 or 25,000 if they wanted to, and then just let it ride. Because we broke out of this structure. If this structure goes up 20%, it should take us to 58.65 Bitcoin dominance, which happens to be a resistance level. It all makes sense on the charts. It's not random. Not random. Okay, and if we surpass that, maybe 72% Bitcoin dominance, right? But this is like a huge sign on the charts that something's going to happen on Bitcoin, the support level. Now, the opposite is true on USDT dominance. I'm seeing a head and shoulders resistance pattern on USDT. So this is all kind of coming together all around the same time, perpetuated by the news. Is that good news? People are not going to stay hidden and scared inside of Tether. USDT, they're going to buy crypto. So then Tether, the dominance is going to go down. Bitcoin dominance is going to go up, meaning crypto is going to go up. Okay, so let's actually get into actual cryptos. Now, Bitcoin on the daily is very similar to total. We just broke out above 30,000. This is good. So now 30,000 is our new line in the sand. And I'm hoping, which would be good for a lot of cryptos, is if this turns into some kind of psychological upside down head and shoulders, and this is our neckline, it all makes sense. What's the target? 55% to the upside. 55% should be 37,447. If I go 110% to the upside, we should go to $50,000 Bitcoin. It's not impossible. This number does not scare me. Okay, just a little education history. $30,000 Bitcoin, $31,000 Bitcoin is because the market cap or the available number of coins, the float, so not the market cap, but the float of Bitcoin is only something about 17 million coins, total supply, okay? The supply of coins available for trading. That's why it's 31,129. We never had a coin split because Bitcoin is not designed to do that, right? So to me, if Bitcoin was a stock, this should have stock split many times years ago. So this number is 10x or 100x too big. It should only be $311 or $31 or $3, right? That's why I'm not afraid of this number, because the supply is only 17 million coins for every single person on Earth. That's why we have such a huge number right now. So mentally, that's how I get over the numbers. Doesn't really matter. It's to me, it's like this is 31.127 mentally for me. Okay, so Bitcoin still remaining its uptrend, high, low, higher, high, next resistance. We just marked those two areas. The support, want to watch out for 25.4K, 21.49. And our final line in the sand, our beautiful crypto bottom in November 2022. Remember that Bitcoin dominance support low? There we go. The connection between those two. Let me bring it down a little bit more so people can see those two. I want to make sure people understand those. Okay, Ethereum. Ethereum getting a little bit of a boost here, but other altcoins went parabolic almost on the shorter term time frames this week. Ethereum, we draw this trend line, and this is our support that we're bouncing off of. It did pierce to the downside bottom of the support, but now stuck in this rising wedge, right? Here, 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 here. Higher lows, and then our higher highs right here, 2227. Okay, that's our target, 2227. We have to break above 2137. So there's a double X marks the spot for Ethereum bulls to really push this to the upside. Buy. We did have that morning star off the support. That's enough. This two combination of morning star off of support, buy. If somebody's wanting to put on some risk in the market, just that's a sign. Very simple. Doesn't have to be 50 indicator strategy, right? Very simple. Now, Binance Coin, okay, this is what I'm talking about. Binance Coin at the support level here on the daily. Let me switch to a weekly so we get more on the chart. It's holding its support of right above 220. Just bounced off of that. It is a descending triangle, so that's not really a pretty pattern to look at. It's not exciting, but only two things are going to happen. Either it's going to lose the support and we're going to crash on Binance Coin, maybe because of SEC lawsuit, or it's going to hold that because there's three major touch points here and then start to have its ascending breakout. So you'll know when the breakout, because it has to break out above 260, it has to go up, piercing through these prices. So 300 is that line. So all we really need is two alerts, possibly. Maybe one here below 200, and then one here at 300 if somebody really wants that, and 250. Only need three alerts here. Three levels to pay attention to. Okay, next Solana. Again, on this weekly, seeing if we can hold this higher low. I'm going to go maybe 5 or 10 minutes over. Higher low, we're going to see here. If we can bounce up to 30.51, great. That could be the higher high. There's plenty of room to go on the oscillators. The daily, still in the down cross, but if we can pierce up, it's going to take a while for this to really up cross again. It could take a couple months if Solana survives. Cardano, very interesting, had this double bottom, higher low pattern down here. So this is very interesting to learn from on Cardano. Is we have this reversal. We have basically essentially a double top on the weekly here, a little bit of head and shoulders action, and then it didn't even crash back down to the ultimate bottom as it should. We hit the first target, about 25%. So this is our support level. So again, if you're just looking for easy levels, just two, right? We're bouncing off 25 cents and we're stuck between 40 cents at the 30-cent level. So if somebody is extremely bullish on Cardano and doesn't care about the SEC lawsuit, if someone's extreme risk friendly, then you can see all this bullish momentum on the upside, right? In terms of, I'm not saying do this, but just for education, is what's the potential downside on cryptos? Maximum is negative 100% loss. But in any given moment, it could crash down negative 25% on bad news. This is a 2-to-1 play, basically. Right? 40% to the upside, 20% on the downside on a small, medium-sized amount of capital, equal to about 1 or 2% of someone's total account. Then it's not so scary mentally. Right? Per trade, if someone's trading, then that's how we manage risk. You could go to sleep at night. So Cardano, something to think about there. The bearish side, however, if somebody's a short and says they don't like this, is yes, if somebody shorts now, I mean, there could be the inverse amount of risk, but it's better to short when something's at a relative high or where there's really bad news, not at the bottom. XRP, everybody's favorite potential Swift money replacing crypto if it happens. Crypto is in an interesting transitional phase right now. That's why we're seeing so much flip-flopping, up and down, up and down. But the way I use technical analysis is to break through the noise of the talking heads on TV and on the internet, social media. Is, to me, it doesn't really matter what people are saying of their opinion as much as the price on the chart. So what is this telling me? We had a support level above 30 cents or 31 cents. It is potentially a W double bottom, hesitating right here. Short-term double top because of maybe NASDAQ pulling back and some cryptos went too high too fast. So my long-term target on XRP is about 66% higher than the W neckline breakout, 87 cents. That's my bullish target. 68 cents is also my target. But if the short term, if we're going to pull back again to support, which will there be possibly another buying opportunity, okay, that's also measurable. It looks small in the chart, but it's actually 25% down, which is investing stop loss. So that could be a liquidity wick stopping out attack all the way down to 33 cents. I might want to buy some more there. So to make it easy on people is the resistance, 55 cents, support, 34 cents, I'm going to call it. And it just has to break out above one of those or break down to one of those levels. Very simple. That's all we need to know. And I'm looking at a weekly chart, by the way. Because on crypto, I'm more of a long-term investor. I'm not a scalper anymore. AVAX, I'll just go through the rest of these just very rapid fire. Bouncing off support level on a weekly, $11. And if it can hold, plenty of gains to be had on AVAX, especially if they survive the lawsuit. 50% plus. Same thing with DOT. We're starting to see that bounce here off the double bottom support, this is significant support here. Yes, it is a crypto that the SEC might not like or might not survive that, but that's where there's risk here. Dogecoin, almost every altcoin is following Bitcoin at this point. Doge, almost like Binance Coin, finding its support level above the 5 cent range here. Okay. And so once that breaks out, you're going to probably start to see the Doge memes on Twitter and social media, Instagram, TikTok, that this thing could explode to the upside. Where's my upside target? It could go to 25 cents easily. It's been so quiet, holding the support level. If it breaks up to the upside, this thing will blast off to 25 cents. No problem. We just don't want it to crash because there's no man's land down here. Could be catastrophic. Shiba Inu, I did pick some up of this crypto. I did buy some off the bottom here. I like this. Why? Not because it's a dog coin, a meme coin. I'm just saying it's at a relative support level. Okay, and it's like IPO. This reminds me of IPOs. You have an initial hype and then crashes for the next remaining 2 years until it reaches the bottom of its starting point or much, much lower than that. So I am saying, well, if Bitcoin's going up, Bitcoin is rising, why not buy some altcoins? Put some risk on. Not that much risk, but we'll put some on. And we'll see here that the 25% stop loss. My target for SHIB is way up here. I want it even up here. There could be a 250% if this is the real reversal. If I just bought the bottom of the market, it could go 250%. Matic, not people's favorite coin because of the SEC lawsuit, but if you can maintain the monthly higher low, that would be nice. If it'll stop here, bounce off of 768, and we can see it bounce, right? Lower low, lower high. If it's going to flip right now, it should, you can see that it wants to go to $1.15 if possible. Bull target, bear target, 38 cents, which is catastrophic. So Atom was tightening on the weekly, but we had that flash crash. So this is something to just learn from, okay? Because it's at a support level on the trend line does not mean it's always 100% going to stop there and go up. It's like a soft line. I treat these trend lines, you know what they should be? Let me check if I can. It's like when you're driving, it's not a solid line. It's a dashed line or a dotted line, meaning that it could pass down through. Okay? This is not a cement divider on the middle of the freeway where cars are not supposed to pass through. This is a yellow line in the middle of the street that's legal, and it's possible for something to make a U-turn and reverse, right? That's why we watch it. It was hesitating there for about 4 or 5 days and then crash. And it hit the 8.88 retrace, and it's going to bounce up to where? 1033. 1033. Okay, so I want to watch out for that. Now, what are the two scenarios that can happen? Well, it's either going to reject down and retest 731, see the liquidity there, or it's going to bounce up, and then if Bitcoin nonstop, we should try to hit $18, which would be 100% almost retrace. But Adam has a lot of work to do that. So in my experience, people are just going to chase the gains. So this month or January or June, last month was Bitcoin Cash and XLM Stellar. Right? Not everyone's piling into Atom right now. So that's why crypto is all about discretion and the catalyst. Now, near on the weekly side, again, a lot of double bottom plays potential. Litecoin is different, right? That's why I'm going to leave this here for a while to see if we could even get 100%, 200 to 400% on an investing scale because it's support play, right? If this goes the first measure move, that's already 100% gains. If it goes another double that, which is very easy to do because it's $2 or $1.50, go to $5, right? It's just a matter of the SEC lawsuit, and will it get kicked off the crypto exchanges? Yes or no? Is the SEC going to continue to sue companies because Wall Street is trying to create a new ecosystem, right now in which crypto is able to survive inside stock ETFs. Is it possible to survive? Right? It's just natural. It's like if there's a natural disaster on Earth, people, animals, nature, it's going to adapt. It's going to try to adapt at least. That's what we're doing right now. That's what we're seeing. Now, Litecoin off of the weekly support level, low, low, low. Now, my targets on Litecoin with the halving coming up in just about a month to 2 months is 167, and then the big mega target $500 if we have worldwide FOMO in terms of parabolic move. Just waiting for that. I'm not panicking right now because I understand. We're either going to retrace to the 618 or we're going to go full one-to-one retrace or maybe higher this time if you're a bull. And that's what I want to see. If it starts downtrending, then I might change my mind somewhere here. But I would still be up in profit significantly, right? So it really depends. Now, if somebody's just jumping to crypto right now, it's a different story because on Litecoin, it could be a negative 50 to negative 25% downside. So it's again matters on somebody's time horizon, risk, position sizing, their trading style, how long they cannot hold for. Uni, potential double bottom of the weekly. This is looking very interesting. Below the 0.88 retrace. 90%, or it was 90% off. Native 86% off. I mean, where's that trying to blast off to? Trying to go 618 land. It's trying to go to $7, $11, and $17 if it can break out of this little descending triangle that it's stuck inside of. Link in a broadening megaphone pattern right around the 0.88 retrace, so trying to survive there. Let's see if there's hidden liquidity. If we lose the support level, it looks like 380 and $2 is kind of that support on the downside. The resistance, $7, and then $12. There's not much in the $9 range. And you can see it just fell down below that very quickly. So Bitcoin Cash obviously, had its monster move, and this looks like big money and coming into this for 2 weeks and hype up 175%. I caught that, below dollar range because I understand this is a bottom support play. It's a good name. It was listed on the new exchange by the Wall Street Institution. And now instead of getting all hyped about it is logically look at now with emotions, logically measure the target. So 50% to 100% to the upside. 208 was hit and the first set of traders are out. Next 110%, we hit that almost perfectly. And the resistance 312. So is that over? It might not be over. It's not really healthy to see two giant green candles like that. But the relative 618, maybe the third target could be 667 up here, and then the ultimate retrace would be 1636. But if Bitcoin has to go up to like $60,000, this is not really good to see it so high up like that on a daily chart. That is FOMO. If you go to a 4 hours chart, you can see the golden cross is open. So to me, this is gonna stop rallying when you see the price lose these EMAs. You could just draw it on the hourly first. It's already starting to lose it a little bit, right? If you look at it like that, it just already lost some, down negative 4%. So the EMAs have to hold. It could crash back down to 255, which is our 50 EMA, right? Starting to go parabolic here. And we want to see, sometimes the parabola doesn't even draw. I want to see how high this thing can go for crashing, right? Plenty of pivots up here. That's what I'm saying. Could definitely go up higher. So I'm just waiting for that to see what's going to happen. If it starts crashing catastrophically, I might close that out for profit. But if it's just a dip and it's going to keep going, I'm going to hold on. Ethereum Classic bouncing off of that support play. Love to see it. And where are my resistance targets? 27, 44. Algo not in a great spot, but if this one happens to survive, this could have a nice rally because it has not rallied yet. Most people not looking at Algo because I believe this one might have been listed in the lawsuit. I have to double check later, but actually just check now. Yes, so my memory serves correct. Algo was listed in the SEC lawsuit, which is why this has no demand and no hype on it, right? If Algo was a clean crypto, it should have reversed already when Bitcoin went up. Okay, so if Algo survives, there could be a long, nice risk return here, like 250%. But if Algo crashes, gets delisted, it means going to like less than 1 cent for sure, or less than 5 cents. XLM. All right, XLM. So GXLM, in terms of the Grayscale XLM crypto ETF, I mean, that had phenomenal gains, hundreds of percent. But the real XLM crypto has not had that yet, so, which is why I'm letting people know now, if this is a double bottom, okay, if this is a double bottom, we did have this double top, we're stuck right here. But the potential bullish gains on this measure move could be about 50 to 100%, just like Bitcoin Cash. All right, so the first target, 17 cents. Second target, 22 cents. There's a third target in there, right? And then the 618, 26 cents. As it broke out of this trend line right there, trying to make a higher high. At this point in time, though, it's a very short-term higher high. So you want to watch out for that. I'm looking at investment right now, weekly time frame. If you go into like a 15-minute, something like that, you zoom in, then it's just resting on an EMA, it looks like. Yes, or it could be below. Let's zoom in. It's below the EMA in this little bit of flagging action, symmetrical triangle that I just lost. So that's why 15-minute, 5-minute, probably want to wait for more oversold on that, even for a swing trade. But as an investor, I understand. I'm looking at this entire gap range from 7 cents to 11 cents. And until it breaks out significantly, right, aka Bitcoin Cash style, the real XLM crypto doesn't have that much demand for now. VeChain in a death cross, but trying to hold above the support level. Mano, potential double bottom. And keep in mind, these little green candles right here, it could just be bots, algorithms, or international traders. This might not necessarily be the USA traders trying to buy this because of the lawsuit with the SEC. My Filecoin trying to establish some kind of higher low, which is why I pointed this out in blue here, above the $3 range. If it goes higher high, see if it could go up to 878. H-bar, another one of these payment coins, potential higher low on the weekly. See if it can bounce up with follow through all the way to 10 cents. But how long does that take? 70 days. Okay, so for me as an investor, I know I got to wait 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, and see how high it can go. Right? So again, it's the SEC versus crypto versus Wall Street right now. Now, if we do have a parabolic rally, see how long this takes. 126 days, almost half a year. To get to the full double top could take 1 year. That's why I'm in for the ride. I'm holding, at least for a little bit more. Now, waves. These alerts were firing off a lot last time. Waves double bottom support. I do like this W formation. See if we get the follow through in the next couple of months and see if we try to get it. It's only just below a $2 range right now. So it's still close enough to the bottom that if it survives, it could wiggle down here and see if it can rally to the upside. The rest, I think I'll stop here. Is very similar. Okay, so I'm looking at it through the lens of an investor and a swing trader longer term. I'm not about day trading, scalping right now because my style is I like buying low and selling as high as possible. And it's basically like passive income for me. Okay. Or like passive profit strategy. I do a little bit less active right now in terms of day trading because of just what I believe is going to happen in the markets. All right. So it looks like we don't have any requests. It is an American holiday today and tomorrow, so I'll just end it here. Thank you so much for watching and supporting everybody. Thank you for the follows. Appreciate it. If you have a request, just let me know in the YouTube comments or in the live chat next live stream. Again, if you want to support the stream, go ahead and follow on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch, or Twitter. And you could always message me for a request on a live stream. And if we have time, we'll get to that request. So thank you so much and happy holidays. And I'll see you next time. Thank you and bye-bye.